Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Okay, I figured I would try to do something a little differently because I don't know how many times people are going to be watching videos today. It's obviously Thanksgiving, there's a lot going on. I know for me personally, there's been plenty of times that I've spent Thanksgiving completely 100% alone or also even having to work sometimes. So I figured I still wanted to create some content, but I figured I'd try something a little bit differently, something more fun rather than just kind of the typical clips, especially since there's not really a lot going on right now. I've already posted a couple others. Hopefully you guys have checked them out. But this one, I figured this would be fun to kind of look at Colin's 5 bold NFL predictions going into this season. This was originally recorded in August 20th of 2024. I haven't watched this clip again. I mean, I watched it when it first happened, but I don't remember his predictions whatsoever. I can see like a couple via the title, and he seems pretty accurate. A couple seem wrong, but some seem, inaccurate. So it's going to be really funny to see kind of what he says, how he says it, what his, what his justification is for it and just how accurate it ends up being. So let's go through it and, let's take a listen. It should be pretty funny.
Josh Allen's going to be good. Andy Reid will make the playoffs. No, I don't choose that. I'm not looking to be perfect. I'm going to take some bold predictions. Are you ready to go here? The first one's kind of negative. I think Dennis Allen, Saints, is the first coach to be let go. They've missed the playoffs back-to-back years. The NFC South, Atlanta and Carolina are undoubtedly better teams. No question, the Falcons and the Panthers are much better teams. 4 of the first 6 games for Dennis Allen are against playoff teams from last year. I don't see the juice offensively. I think Dennis is the first coach to be let go. Number 2 is I think Jaden Daniels, Washington, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now, Caleb Williams has better weapons. So Jaden's going to have to move. He's going to have to run. I think that's going to play well. He's going to feel like RG3 did first year in Washington, his legs. I don't think Caleb, with all those weapons, will have to move as much. His offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, has a reputation. He's very good with mobile quarterbacks, and he was pounding the tables for Jaden Daniels. I also think, this is my opinion, the division is not as good, so I think Jaden wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Number 3 is I think the Rams may not win it, but I think they reach the NFC Championship. I don't know if they can beat Detroit. I don't know if they can beat Green Bay. Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford, Sean McVay. That's a big-time offense. And they have given their last 2-3 years, all their draft capital up front is defensive dudes. They've been a top 10 scoring offense 2 of the 3 years Stafford's been there. I really like this team. And no noise. No noise. San Francisco, nothing but noise. Kyler Murray, he'll be some noise. No noise, no expectations. I don't know. The hardest 2 games of the year to win are a conference championship and the Super Bowl. I'm not saying the Rams win the conference championship. I think they get there. Number 4, I think Jordan Love wins the MVP. First of all, the last 10 starts last year, he was the best quarterback in football. Yep. Also, I think there's voter fatigue with Lamar, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes winning MVP. We want a new story. Media likes stories. He's fresh. He's fun. Also, I think they're stacked offensively with an offensive coach. Josh Jacobs, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Luke Musgrave, Christian Watson. I think they have. And last year, their offense at the end of the year, it was like, whoa, what do we got here? Young quarterback, generationally aligned with all his young receivers and tight ends and O-linemen. I think this offense is magic this year. And finally, I think Dallas narrowly misses the playoffs. They have the quietest, least talented running back room, in my opinion, in the league. And Dak Prescott, when he has to throw over 40 times, is 8-18 in his career. And I think the NFC is better than it's been the last 2 to 3 years. So the NFC's tougher. He has no run game. If they don't sign CeeDee Lamb, they're not only going to miss the playoffs, they may not have the same coach by mid-October. They have got to sign CeeDee Lamb. They were quiet in free agency. I don't see a ton of depth. So I don't think any of these are crazy. These are my bold predictions. I'll put it out.
All right. I think, as my headphones are dying, perfectly timing. Uh, I've recorded an insane amount of videos today. I'm recording this the day before Thanksgiving, but it's weird to hear myself talk now without the headphones in my ears. But so yeah, no, I mean this is actually pretty good. This is pretty accurate. Obviously some of them are misses. Listen, Jordan Love got injured. Even if Jordan Love was healthy, fully healthy, I don't think he's was looking like he's having an MVP year. I still think Jordan Love's obviously a top quarterback and will be special, but even without the injuries, I mean, who's to really know? Maybe if he was 100% healthy, but it doesn't seem like this was going to be his year, honestly. And that was actually one of my predictions. I had C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love, top MVP candidates going into this season. That ended up not being obviously correct. I'm kind of jumping all over the place. And then you have uh, Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I know there's been some injuries, but they were clearly not a good team. Do not use the injuries as a scapegoat or an excuse as to why they were going to miss the playoffs. And it's funny because they still now technically can make the playoffs, especially depending on how, if they beat the Giants and stuff. Like, it's still technically possible, but he's obviously right on with that. A lot of people still thought that the Dallas Cowboys would be like a legit team, legit contender. And man, I still remember when the season first started and talking when they beat the Browns and the Chicago and the Dallas Cowboys fans were just celebrating and popping champagne. And I was like, guys, that wasn't really that good of a win. And they're like, you're a hater. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Matthew Stafford and the Rams, I'm high on them too, man. I really, really am. Watching them lose to the Eagles was pretty convincingly, and at that point they are pretty healthy. I think they would obviously be a significantly better team if they were able to stay healthy from the beginning of the season. They obviously had some legitimate injuries, losing Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, some linemen and stuff like that. No one's going to be able to bounce back from that. I don't know, even if they were fully healthy, if you would say yes, this team is going to the NFC Championship game. It just feels like a team like the Eagles, the Lions, the Packers. They just have more firepower. The Minnesota Vikings, I know I'm forgetting teams right now, just have more firepower and can just attack more deeply. Jaden Daniels, it's a race right now as I break my pen. It's a race between Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. I mean, I think maybe Caleb Williams can catch up. Maybe he has to continue to be hot, and maybe if he has a big win against the Detroit Lions, I guess if he balls out versus Detroit Lions and beats the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving, which by the time you're watching this video, that game may already be in full swing. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, he's thrown 3 interceptions or 4 touchdowns. Who honestly knows? But I guess that's still technically a possibility. But obviously, Jaden Daniels is having a fantastic year. Has to course correct a little bit this season, but still obviously right on par. And then the firing. It wasn't the it wasn't the first firing. I think it was Robert Saleh was ended up technically being the first firing, but obviously having the Saints struggle and having all of those issues makes was also a pretty accurate prediction as well, although not for the exact reasons why. Obviously, the Saints had their own share of injuries. Derek Carr going down. They got off to an insanely hot start where people were like, oh my God, the Saints, they're on fire. I was one of them. I was like, wow, this is actually really cool to watch. And I was excited. I was happy for Derek Carr and the Saints. And then, unfortunately, everything came to a crashing halt. But yeah, no, this is pretty good, honestly. I had already done first things first, and Nick Wright's NFL tiers and the quarterback rankings and stuff like that. And there were there were some hits, but there was also plenty of misses. And so I figured, okay, are there any other like old takes that I could do of Colin that would be fun? And again, this is obviously not meant to be any type of, as I said in my other videos, like this isn't meant to be like a gotcha or haha, you're wrong, or like that. This is just supposed to be fun. It's Thanksgiving, trying something a little bit different. Obviously, if you're making predictions all the way back in August, like you're going to be wrong. And the fact that you're even close to being right or actually right in any of them is pretty impressive. So I think these aged actually pretty well, even if they aren't obviously 100% correct. But those are just my thoughts. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your day off, your Thanksgiving, or maybe you're working no matter what you're doing. But yeah, Definitely check out the other videos that I post on Thanksgiving. I'm also posting, I actually recorded and have a ton of videos that will be going out on Friday and Saturday, just in case you guys continue to have time off and need something to do. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think these predictions age? Do you think some of them are still fair game or absolutely not? Let me know. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.